Greetings, dear souls. This is Alara speaking. A significant shift is currently occurring that cannot be overlooked, as someone's heart is resonating louder than their thoughts, fears, and the distance that separates you. This younger individual is experiencing something profoundly real, an emotion they never anticipated feeling so intensely. They believed they could maintain a lighthearted approach, exert control, and remain detached, but that is no longer feasible. Their emotions are now dominating, and the truth emerging within them is both simple and powerful. I only wish to be with you. This is no longer confusion. It is a realization. Each time they attempt to distance themselves emotionally, something draws them back to you. Your energy lingers in their mind, in their emotions, and even in their silence. They are beginning to comprehend that their feelings are not fleeting. They are evolving into something substantial, something that grows stronger with time. The cards drawn for this reading are the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. Together, they narrate a deeply emotional unfolding story. The Knight of Cups signifies an individual who is finally prepared to articulate their inner feelings, even at the risk of vulnerability. The Ace of Pentacles indicates the inception of something genuine, something that can develop into stability, commitment, and a long-term connection. Meanwhile, the Page of Wands introduces a fresh spark of curiosity and emotional excitement, akin to a new awakening within the heart. Before we delve deeper, please remain with this message, as what follows will unveil the extent of this younger person's emotional attachment to you and the increasing difficulty they face in distancing themselves from what their heart already recognizes. When these three cards, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands, come together, they convey a profoundly emotional and powerful narrative about someone who is gradually falling deeper than they ever anticipated, and they can no longer disregard their feelings. This younger individual is experiencing a significant emotional awakening. Initially, they were unsure of what was occurring within them. They believed it might be a fleeting phase. They thought it could merely be attraction, something trivial, something easy to dismiss. However, their current realization is quite the opposite. This feeling is persistent. It continues to intensify, reappearing, and drawing them back toward you, regardless of their attempts to divert their attention. The Knight of Cups symbolizes the emotional profundity of this bond. It represents the aspect of them that experiences everything intensely, the part that contemplates you during quiet moments, the part that recalls your energy, your presence, your words, and your essence. This is where the emotional connection begins to develop in a gentle yet powerful manner. They have not fully articulated it yet, but internally, they are profoundly influenced by you. Their heart races ahead of their words. They experience more than they express. At times, they are even taken aback by the strength of their emotions. There exists a tenderness in their feelings toward you. You are not merely a transient figure in their life. You have lingered in their thoughts longer than they anticipated, which adds to their confusion. They are striving to comprehend why this connection feels unique, why it is not diminishing, and why it is strengthening rather than weakening. The energy of the Knight of Cups indicates that they are emotionally invested, even as they are still figuring out how to navigate these feelings. Following this is the Ace of Pentacles, marking the moment when everything begins to solidify. This is where emotions start to evolve into something more tangible in their mind. This younger person is no longer just feeling. They are beginning to contemplate what this could develop into. They are starting to perceive potential, stability, something significant, something that could genuinely flourish in reality. This represents a crucial transformation because, initially, It was solely about emotion and uncertainty. But now, they are beginning to appreciate this connection. They are beginning to perceive you in a new light, not merely as someone they are attracted to, but as an individual who could embody something genuine, something enduring. The Ace of Pentacles resembles a seed being sown in their thoughts, a notion that suggests this could be significant. While they may not be fully acting on it yet, they are contemplating it with greater seriousness than before. They are increasingly recognizing what it would entail to create something with you, to proceed gradually, to make it tangible, to avoid losing it. This marks the transition where emotional sentiments start evolving into intention. Even if clear as throat, it remains in its nascent phase. Subsequently, the Page of Wands enters the scene, altering the energy once more. Now there exists curiosity. Now there is excitement. Now there is a spark that cannot remain subdued. This younger individual is not only feeling profoundly and contemplating seriously anymore. They are becoming actively curious about you. They desire to learn more. They wish to comprehend this connection. They might find themselves checking in on you, thinking of you unexpectedly, or experiencing a sudden impulse to reach out. There is a playful, youthful energy present, akin to discovering something novel for the first time. You are transforming into a mystery they are eager to unravel, a feeling they wish to delve into, a presence they cannot help but notice. The Page of Wands indicates that emotional movement is beginning to take place, even if they are still uncertain about how to proceed. The energy within them is no longer stagnant. Something is awakening. Something is propelling them forward. They are becoming increasingly aware that remaining silent indefinitely will not feel appropriate. Now, when all three cards are considered together, the complete narrative becomes distinctly apparent. Initially, there is emotional depth and attachment illustrated by the Knight of Cups. Following that, there is the acknowledgement that this connection possesses genuine potential, as indicated by the Ace of Pentacles. Finally, there is curiosity and the desire to further explore it, represented by the Page of Wands. This younger individual is no longer confined to a single emotion. Instead, they are experiencing multiple emotional stages simultaneously. They are feeling profoundly, contemplating seriously, and cultivating curiosity all at once. This complexity is what renders their experience so intense, as their heart is no longer at peace. It is active, engaged, and moving towards you, albeit gradually. Externally, they may still appear reserved, yet internally, significant changes are undoubtedly occurring. Their perception of you has shifted. You are becoming a significant figure in their emotional landscape, someone they cannot easily forget, someone who has made a lasting impact on their heart. The most compelling aspect of this entire reading is that they are gradually coming to terms with the reality of their feelings. These emotions are not fleeting. They are not mere figments of imagination. Instead, they are evolving incrementally, emotion by emotion, thought by thought. Therefore, what these cards collectively illustrate is a progression from feeling to realization to curiosity, transitioning from emotional turmoil to grounded potential, and the onset of action energy. This younger person is currently situated in the midst of that journey, steadily moving towards a deeper understanding of your true significance in their life. The Page of Wands in this reading introduces an entirely different type of energy into this connection. It exudes freshness, curiosity, and a sense of emotional awakening. Following the profound emotions represented by the Knight of Cups and the stabilizing energy of the Ace of Pentacles, this card signifies the resurgence of excitement. However, this excitement is not rooted in confusion. It is rooted in discovery. This younger individual is venturing into feelings they are still striving to comprehend, yet they cannot overlook the spark you ignite within them. There is something about you that invigorates them in a novel way. When they contemplate you, their energy transforms. It is not burdensome. Rather, it is light yet potent. It embodies a blend of curiosity, attraction, and an indescribable essence. They are eager to learn more about you, to delve deeper into this connection, and to understand what this feeling truly signifies. The Page of Wands embodies this type of emotional curiosity that continues to expand rather than diminish. This younger individual may not yet possess the full maturity to articulate their feelings, but their heart is very much engaged at this moment. They are in the process of discovering their emotions. They are introspective, pondering questions such as, why do they think of you so frequently? What makes you stand out from everyone else? Why does this connection linger in their thoughts even when they attempt to concentrate on other matters? These inquiries do not provide them with tranquility. Instead, they draw them closer to you. The Page of Wands also signifies messages and the energy of communication. There is a palpable sense that this person wishes to reach out, even if only in minor ways. They might check your profile, contemplate sending a message, or revisit past interactions in their thoughts. There exists a yearning to connect, but it fluctuates. At times, they feel courageous enough to take action, while at other moments, they retreat, uncertain of your potential reaction. However, what is unmistakably evident in this energy is that their curiosity about you is intensifying. This is not a waning sentiment. Rather, it is something that is being increasingly ignited with each passing day. The Page of Wands does not signify complete commitment at this stage, but it does indicate the onset of emotional movement. It represents a phase where an individual acknowledges, I wish to explore this. I want to see where this leads. This younger person may also experience a playful attraction towards you, which is not immature but rather lighthearted, as being connected to you brings them joy, excitement, and emotional warmth. Merely thinking of you can elevate their spirits. You symbolize something novel in their emotional landscape, an experience they did not anticipate but now find impossible to ignore. Additionally, there is a budding sense of bravery emerging within them, albeit in a small form. The Page of Wands symbolizes a spark that has yet to ignite into a flame, yet it is poised for growth. This individual is gradually mustering the courage to confront their emotions rather than evade them. While they have not fully arrived at this realization, they are no longer entirely concealing their feelings either. The potency of this energy is amplified by its synergy with the preceding cards. The sentiments from the Knight of Cups remain present. The foundational intention from the Ace of Pentacles is still in the process of development. However, now the Page of Wands introduces movement. It infuses action-oriented energy, albeit subtly. It marks the onset of expression, the initiation of outreach, and the commencement of emotional exploration that can no longer be suppressed. This younger individual may soon begin to exhibit signs, minor indications that they are contemplating you more than previously. A message, a response, an unexpected check-in, or even indirect methods of demonstrating interest. The Page of Wands does not remain silent for an extended period. It consistently seeks a means to articulate what is brewing within. At its core, what this card conveys is straightforward. This connection is no longer confined to their heart or mind. It is beginning to progress. It is starting to flourish. And it is urging them toward action, even as they are still learning how to take that initial step. Thus, this energy is exhilarating, unpredictable, and brimming with potential. This younger person is not merely experiencing feelings anymore. They are engaging in exploration, discovery, and gradually awakening to the significance of this connection for them. The Ace of Pentacles in this reading reveals something crucial about this bond. It transcends mere feelings. It embodies something that aspires to manifest in reality. Following all the emotions, the uncertainty, and the internal drive illustrated in the Knight of Cups, this card arrives as a stabilizing force. It takes those profound emotions and begins to mold them into something with tangible potential. This younger individual is not just experiencing love. They are beginning to contemplate the implications of actually creating something alongside you. A transformation is occurring within them. Initially, it was merely emotion, just thoughts that eluded their full comprehension. However, those emotions are gradually evolving into intention. They are starting to perceive you as an individual who could genuinely be a stable part of their future, rather than just a fleeting sentiment. The Ace of Pentacles symbolizes a seed. In this relationship, that seed represents the notion of something tangible developing between you. Although it is small at present, it possesses great potential. This younger individual may not yet be vocalizing everything, but internally, they are beginning to shift their perspective. They are pondering what it would entail to take this connection seriously, to cultivate trust, and to establish something substantial instead of merely feeling from afar. Additionally, there is a sense of care within this energy. It is neither hurried nor impulsive. It is deliberate, reflective, and somewhat cautious. This person may be observing you more intently than they acknowledge. They might be taking note of how you move, how you communicate, and how you express yourself. When the Ace of Pentacles emerges, individuals start to appreciate what is before them. They begin to recognize what possesses genuine value. This younger person is also becoming increasingly aware of the distinction between fantasy and reality. Their emotions, represented by the Knight of Cups, are intense, yet the Ace of Pentacles grounds them. It prompts them to consider timing, stability, and whether this connection can genuinely flourish in a healthy manner. Surprisingly, rather than distancing themselves, this grounding energy is encouraging them to regard you with even greater seriousness. There is a profound sense that something real could be developing in their thoughts. Even if they are not yet articulating it, even if they remain silent, this notion is gaining strength. They are starting to view you as someone who could provide emotional security, comfort, and something significant in their life. Not merely excitement, but something enduring. The Ace of Pentacles also signifies opportunities. In this context, it appears that an opportunity is developing between you and this younger individual. It may represent a chance to reconnect, to communicate once more, to establish trust, or to advance the relationship in a manner that feels more stable. However, it necessitates patience. It demands time. There is no rush involved, yet something is undoubtedly being arranged in the background. This individual might also be contemplating how to approach you in a more secure manner. They wish to avoid entering with confusion or uncertainty any longer. There exists a desire to be regarded seriously, as well as to reciprocate that seriousness. This is where their emotional development is occurring. They are no longer merely experiencing feelings. They are beginning to contemplate action. Deep down, the Ace of Pentacles indicates that their feelings for you are not insignificant. They are not arbitrary. It is something that holds the potential to evolve into stability if nurtured appropriately. There is a sense of worth here, as if they are gradually recognizing that what they feel is valuable, worth safeguarding, worth cultivating, and worth not losing. Thus, This card conveys a very clear message. This younger individual is no longer just emotionally attached. They are beginning to perceive genuine potential in you and this connection. Something substantial is attempting to develop beneath the surface, quietly yet steadily. Even if it is not entirely apparent yet, the groundwork is starting to take form. The Knight of Cups in this reading transcends being merely a card of romance. It signifies the moment when feelings become too profound to conceal. This younger person has been harboring emotions for you for quite some time, but they have struggled to articulate them clearly. They feel intensely, yet their emotions fluctuate. One moment they are assured about their desires, and the next they retreat, overwhelmed by their own heart. This reflects the energy of someone who is genuinely in love, yet still learning how to navigate the complexities of what love truly entails. There exists a profound softness and emotional depth in the connection they feel towards you. In moments of solitude, when the world around them is quiet, they find themselves thinking of you. They revisit past conversations in their minds. They recall the energy you exude, experiencing an inexplicable pull towards you. This feeling transcends mere attraction. It is an emotional bond that intensifies with each passing day. The Knight of Cups indicates that they can no longer disregard these feelings. Although they may attempt to maintain a facade of normalcy, internally, they are stirred by emotions they never anticipated. This younger individual may not yet be very forthcoming. They might not have shared the entirety of their feelings with you, yet their heart is already expressing itself quite vocally. They yearn to draw nearer to you. They wish to articulate something genuine. However, there is an element of nervousness present. They harbor fears regarding the depth of this connection. For them, this is not merely a fleeting emotion. It is something significant, something that resonates with their feelings in a manner they have never encountered before. The Knight of Cups also signifies a longing to reach out. There is an inclination towards communication, towards conveying love, affection, or simply demonstrating that you hold a value that surpasses verbal expression. Yet, concurrently, there exists apprehension. They find themselves overthinking, feeling intensely, and striving to identify the opportune moment. Their heart is prepared, but their mind is still in the process of catching up. This is where the emotional tension escalates. As their feelings deepen, it becomes increasingly challenging to remain silent. They may present a calm exterior, but internally, they are perpetually drawn to you. They might even catch themselves smiling at the thought of you or experiencing a peculiar sense of emptiness in your absence. This is the unfolding energy of the Knight of Cups, an amalgamation of emotional yearning intertwined with gentle bewilderment. Additionally, there is a sense of idealism at play. This younger person perceives you in an exceptionally unique light. You are not merely someone they appreciate. You feel distinct to them. They might not completely grasp the reason, but you symbolize something emotionally significant in their life. This is why their feelings are intensifying rather than diminishing. The more they attempt to manage it, the more it expands. However, the Knight of Cups also signifies movement. Even if it is gradual, even if it is cautious, emotional progress is occurring. This individual is gradually approaching acceptance of their emotions. They are starting to understand that their feelings for you are not something they can easily disregard or dismiss. It is becoming an integral part of their emotional reality. Deep within, there is a quiet yearning developing to draw nearer, to communicate sincerely, to reveal what has been confined within their heart for an extended period. They may not have arrived at that moment yet, but the energy is accumulating towards it. Because when the Knight of Cups emerges, emotions never remain concealed indefinitely. They always find a means to be articulated. Thus, in this relationship, this card is revealing something very evident. This younger individual is emotionally engaged, even if they are not entirely transparent about it yet. Their heart is already progressing towards you, step by step, feeling by feeling, and what they experience is only deepening over time.